travelers, and welcome to the first edition of Swell Spells. Which, when I started making my segments rhyme, I didn't realize how hard the enunciation would be. So let's see if this sticks. Swell Spells. It is. So we already learned in our herb blurb about common sage and the uses for that. So I thought it would be fun to tie that into this edition of Swell Spells by taking some common sage and doing a little bit of witching with it. So the spell that we're going to do is just a really simple, really basic bath tea for clarity as well as cleansing. As we learned, sage is a really powerful herb of the mind, as well as being a herb that's typically used for cleansing, and this is common sage, so I don't think a lot of people use it as often as they would like white sage or blue sage for cleansing, but it's still going to do just as much cleansing. It's a cleansing powerhouse, and I think it's going to really lend to sort of clearing up the mind and inviting in that wisdom and sort of words, bringing in that intuition and sort of, high vibing your mind and your mental space. And I think this is going to be a pretty fun spell. And this will be especially useful during the new moon phase. If you're doing any acts of self-care or want to just sort of reset before the next moon cycle, this would be a really great spell for that. So, what do you need? Well, I forgot something, so hold on while I run and get that. Okay, you needed tea, because it's not quite bath tea without tea. So, I got a regular bag of jasmine green tea. I get this at my local grocery store, so I have that. I have the common sage. I have some sea salt with some, various herbs in it. I'm not really too worried about them. It's just the sea salt that I have on hand that's, a small fine particulate, so will easily dissolve in the water, as well as some ground up oats. And then off screen, I have a big bag of Epsom salt that's too big to put here without upsetting everything that's already here. And it's really straightforward. So what I'm going to do is use one of these little reusable tea bags. I get this in my monthly boxes. I got this from the Midnight Muses box, but they're pretty easy to find if you don't have one of these. A small muslin bag will work. Also one of those, I don't know if they're called chiffon, but those little, tiny bags that, stones and all sorts of things get packaged into. Yeah, I have one here. This kind of bag also works. Be aware that the mesh on this is going to be a little bit wider than it is on this, and so more stuff will leak through. So you might have some stuff seeping into your bathtub. Anyways, not a super big deal. It should catch most of the big stuff. But I'm going to get a little spoon and just scoop in some Epsom salt. I'm going to do that off the camera because, like I said, the bag is really big. So just a little tiny bit. Doesn't have to be a super bunch, because I really want mostly these oats in here. And I'm going to attempt to pour these in here without making a colossal mess. We'll see how well I do. As you guys may have noticed, I have a wrist brace on, and fine motor skills are not actually in my bag. So I'm just going to scoop it in here with a spoon. There's no shame in that, right? Instead of trying not to make a mess and then just making a giant mess, I still made a mess. So, I'm going to fill that up. Probably halfway, I'm going to say. A little under halfway. And then I'm going to add this entire thing of salt. Really specific measurements, I know. But that's kind of the fun of this sort of magic, is that you don't have to be too specific. And then I'm going to crack open this tea bag. Don't worry, I will save the tea bag itself for other crafty endeavors. And I'm going to pour that tea in. some of that tea to the mess, and then I'm going to dump in a decent amount of that sage. Just until we get to the top of the bag. You don't want to come up to like the top because then it won't close. But this pulls tight, and then you would just tie it to secure it and drop that into a hot bath. And before we do that, let's go ahead and charge it with our intention. You want to let every ingredient in here know what it's doing before you make it do it. So the salt is in there as a cleansing agent. The herbs are both chosen, well, the sage is chosen for its intuition boosting abilities as well as its cleansing properties, and I want it to clear my mind and help me to see what I need to see, but also make space so that I can learn new things and incorporate those into my practice and into my daily life, as well as the there's now a cat behind me, so we'll see how well this goes. The tea is in here for its bath tea properties, but as well as green tea is also really good for your skin, and also has some purification properties to it. And I might do an herb blurb just on teas one day because they all have some really fascinating benefits. But for the purposes of this, the green tea is in here as sort of a skin antioxidant sort of booster, as well as the oatmeal being in here to soften the skin, along with the Epsom salt, and add to a sort of relaxed, calming presence, because I don't want this to be an aggressive spell. I want it to be calm and gradual and gentle, so that's why I'm choosing to use oatmeal in this bath today. And that's it. So we just tie this up. You can charge it even more during the full moon and then have it ready for your new moon or waning moon time. This is Nico. Hi, Nico. The sneeze means she's like approves because she has horrible allergies, so anything she sneezes on is instantly blessed. Thankfully, this bath tea is for me and nobody else. If your cat sneezes on yours, maybe don't give it away. But in the meantime, you guys, that's going to be it for this quickie swell spell segment. And I will catch you all on the next one. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're going to try this spell out for yourself. And until next time, happy travels. Bye!